Okay, so we'll start the class now. So far, what we have learned is available in this YouTube playlist, which I will also share. This is the day one where we covered everything around Gen AI and previous to Gen AI, whatever we had in the AI world, we covered that. And then we had evolution around the Gen AI plus other architectures before that. And here we also learned about building custom agents, but then only using GitHub Copilots. Then we learned about Python programming language, prompts, and then we also saw how to access different large language models using Python program. And after that, we learned how to also run a local LLM on our own computer so that we don't have to pay. And using that, we also did some programmatic use cases of using the Ollama local LLMs, but also we used Gemini and other free ones like Grok. Then we learned about Langchain, which is the famous framework. If if you are going to do any agentic AI work, Langchain, LangGraph, and Langsmith, these are the things you will always see in any job description. And any company will minimum ask you to have this. There are other things that companies sometimes use, but this is the let's say it is the first one, the Langchain, the framework, which and then this became very popular. Hence, this will be expected minimum, bare minimum. Other things you can learn easily if you know one, because all others are similar. And this was the first day slide we went through. And then after that, you're still seeing my screen, right? The PowerPoint.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Then we went through the what are prompts and different types of prompts and importance of writing good prompts and different parts of a prompts. And then we covered Python programming language. And finally, the last class, as I said, we learned to use Langchain. So today we will actually, from now on, we will start to see the power of these technologies combined together. Till now, we were just learning the, let's say, the just the ABCD of this whole Gen AI, agentic AI things, and doing some small here and there use cases. But then, if we develop only agents in Copilot or and those kind of coding editors, it will only stay there. But if we are able to develop agents independently, like programmatically, and then build multiple agents, then we can have some real world use cases, which actually in companies is used that way. So we will first see the demo today, and then we will go ahead and see how to develop them. So let me start with the demos. What we These are nothing new in companies. This is all already implemented, and on these lines only things are getting now implemented in different companies, but also in the same company, other projects. So as you know, for Python programming, you need to basically have. It's better to create a separate environment. So I've already created a separate environment, which is VENV. In the previous class, we know how to do that. And this is my requirements txt file, which talks about which are the dependency I'm using and what are their versions. And then let's start with the first one. This is the first simple thing that we already know from the past. Just as a refresher, let me run this. So if I type this, what it does is basically using Langchain framework, we are trying to connect to the Gemini model. And which model it is? In the environment file, we have all the details of it. We are connecting to Gemini 3.1 flashlight model, and this is the Gemini key. So all these examples or the use cases which has been implemented, it is using only Gemini, but you can also easily change it to any other OpenAI LLM or your custom LLM which is running in local, or let's say Cloud Sonnet, DeepSeek, anyone you can use it and change get this running with that particular LLMs. So here it simply it ran one program. It said, okay, this is the main thing. It instantiated the chat Google generative AI class, which takes a model as per one input, temperature, and the API key. Basically, we'll learn about in detail what is temperature, what are other parameters that we pass to the model, so that model behaves in a way we want to customize it to be. So here there is nothing around agents. So we are able to connect to this LLM programmatically, but using Langchain framework. And in the past, we were also able to do that without any framework, just with the help of the providers. Like we were able to connect to the Gemini like this. Here we did not use any LLM. It was just simple Google Gemini provided classes. We were able to connect. Same thing now we are able to do it with Langchain. But doing it with Langchain, the advantage is you use a framework, and framework comes with lots of classes, utils, and other patterns that makes our lives very easy in developing enterprise Gen AI applications. Like you're building enterprise uh, Java application, enterprise Node.js, Python, .NET application using some or the other framework. Same way now, LangChain has become the standard along with LangGraph and LangSmith to develop uh, this kind of enterprise application. So we saw that with the first one, there's nothing fancy. Basically, temperature tells that how creative this model should be. Should it add its own creativity while responding? It can have value from 0 to 1. If you say 0, then every time you ask the same question, it will return the same answers every time. It's like deterministic. But if you increase it further, every time you ask the same question, it will swap or change some words and add some creativity. So there are different there are different situations or use cases when you want to use this. Let's say if you're a poet or an author and you're writing a book or something, then it's good to add creativity. So you increase this temperature. So the responses are more creative. But then we'll learn about that a little bit later. Now the second use case. This is a simple, this is our first agent, let's say. And what this agent does, if you remember, in past we learned about what is exactly is an agent and how agent is different than just a LLM call. An LLM is a brain, and brain on its own can't do much. A brain, just think, a human with just a brain doesn't have anything else, like doesn't have hands or legs to do anything, just has a brain. It's so useless, right? That person, he needs always some other support. But if you give those support, then that person can become other, it can do more useful things. So here we have agents. So now this LLM was a brain, and now we are attaching these mini components to that brain, so that now this can become a real person in our own, if we talk about human language, and do something. So for this, it needs tools. So you can say tools can be any of this. Then it can decide on its own to choose which tool it needs for what purpose. It can do planning, thinking, reasoning. It can combine different actions together and execute it once. And then it can also store the conversation in a memory so that next time the similar task is asked, it won't have to process it. It will basically do it from that particular starting point. And it will use LLM in all these steps to just understand or decide what is the best for this particular situation. So now we will see demos around all this, how to use them. And then we'll see how to build multiple agents and multiple agents working together to implement different use cases. So this is an example of simple agent. We'll go through the details later, but what this agent does is, it is very simple. I will explain the code later. It will just do multiplication of two numbers. But then I don't have to tell it to I don't have to give it, I don't have to call a function pass one comma two comma like to use usual programming. We can now talk to this agent using English language. You see, now what it did it is, it here in plain English we wrote what is 6 multiplied by 7. This is simple plain English. And then the agent was smart enough to understand it has to use this tool and it has to how it has to extract the numbers from this, typecast it, multiply it, and respond it. I did not do anything else, just created a tool that will basically help it to do those things, some manipulation. So now if I had to write this thing in Gujarati, I can write, which means my agent will also understand Gujarati and it will also able to do that. French, if I write it in French, it will be able to do that. If I write it in German, it will be able to do that. So now you understand the power. The technology is coming now to the common man with the help of this GNA and agents. Because anyone with just plain English can do what till now only the smart people were able to do. Now I will show you advanced example of this. So yeah, I will say how much is 12 into 6. So it automatically knew what I am trying to do. 12 into, then it automatically found out and it multiplied it. If I twist the words multiply 21 to 4, it will understand what I am saying. Doesn't matter how I write, it is smart enough to capture the context and the inputs, do the processing and give me the response. So this is another agent. Next, let me show this one. This is an agent which will help me talk to my documents. For now, I have kept two documents here, this a PDF and this text. When I will run this agent, then it will be able to talk to this document and PDF. We will be able to talk to that. And after showing the demos, I will explain you what it does, how it does that. So now it has, if I keep few more PDFs or text files here, it will take those also and add it to its brain. And now I can ask question about it. What is the curriculum? Can you summarize it? So now it is running a search in its context and it tells me the output. The agent responded, Gen AI agentic engineer curriculum is 100 hours program that is built with the proficiency this. Week 1 is this and week 2 to 4 is for this, week 5 is this. If I have other question, I don't know the content of the, let's say, let's go and see what is in this. What is mentioned about the memory? It will read all the context and it will try to get the answer. It says the document describes memory in two ways, biological versus machine memory, human memory associated with this. And then technical implementation also talks about something related to memory, conversational memory. Assume I create another one here. Let's say cricket.txt. New document I have added. Maybe I will ask Copilot here to generate something about generate 200 words around rules of cricket. I'm just going to give another document and then we'll try to talk about this with the LLM. So let this create some dummy content. We will use that. So it has created it and kept it in the same file. This is how smart the GitHub Copilot thing is also. So now this document is here. It added to the data folder. Now I will stop this and run it again. It will now ingest this new document in knowledge also. You see, it also ingested the cricket.txt and now my new knowledge base is ready. Then I can say, what are rules in cricket? What are the important rules? Now it is going to look into that knowledge base and it will tell cricket is bat ball, this and that. Let's say I will ask about what is the rules on penalty kick. What it says is, I don't have any information about penalty kick related things, but it is smart enough to tell me that penalty kick is related to soccer, not this. So this kind of system are called RAG systems, retrieval augmented generation. And this is heavily used in every organization now to talk to the existing organization documents, files, PDFs, Excel, also database. Talking about database, now let me show you an example. Using normal English language, you can talk to database also. Let me start my local database first. So this is my database, which has certain data. It has an e-commerce, let's say, database, which has all the tables around e-commerce. For your company, it can be an ERP, CRM system, or anything that you are working. So now we saw programmatically, we can access LLMs, the LLMs and agents can talk to our documents, and we can interact with the documents with English, plain English. And English is just a language. You can also talk to in any other language, any language known to human. You can also talk with voice. Now I'm typing. You can talk to this whole all these things that we just discussed with voice, and it can also return the voice as output. So this is a database. it has 4 tables: customer, orders, items, and products. So let's say this as the products. These are the different products. Similarly, these are the different orders. Now what we do to talk to database? We create basically APIs and then write logic. We have to learn a technology like ORM frameworks like data JPA, or there are other ORM frameworks in other technologies. Then a developer needs to write the code, add the input, call that input. All those things we have to do, but not anymore. If I will show you this example now, so I will say Python and then I will run the MySQL. So it will now this agent will connect to my database and it is going to understand everything about my database. So I will say what are the tables. So it says that the database contains customer, order, items, products, and sales table. Give me the products which are electronics. It gave me only those products which are electronics: laptop pro, wireless mouse, this and this. If I go and check in my database, laptop pro, mouse, this. So these are the 5 electronics product it gave me. And now I just say which product is a jacket. Get me the details. So it is saying your the product that is a jacket is a denim. His product ID is this, categorized as clothing and this. And I have not written any single SQL query for this. Nothing. It is doing it on all it by itself. So I will say which product has the highest sales. So now you have endless possibilities and discussion that you can do. So is that the product with the highest sales is laptop 15 Pro, total revenue of this. Arrange the products in descending order of stock. The products arranged in the descending order are listed above. Where this one is gave me a wrong answer. Or let's rephrase. Order of quantity. So sometimes you have to rephrase it a little bit. Your chat, otherwise it doesn't understand. It got confused with stock. So it says cotton t-shirt is this, then this, all this it is. See, all descending order. So now you don't need a developer who need to write a system. Now what I can do is just create a front end in front of this um, agent, and then that front end can talk to this agent, and then the person they don't have to do this. I can deploy this agent on a server and give this to a, let's say, a business analyst or a product owner or a e-commerce team. They can easily now query things. And what if I combine this particular agent with the database, database agent along with the document agent? Then any layman sitting can do the job of what is we are doing, like we are writing programs and these things, finding we don't need those kind of smart people anymore. Anyone can do this analysis, data analysis. So now we saw two things. One is agents talking to the documents, agents talking to the databases directly. Now I will show you the next one. An agent which will talk to APIs. Let's say existing APIs are being developed in the company, they already exist. Now we want to talk to those. Let's start with the weather search API first. Weather API. So here it says, ask me like the weather now in, let's say, Delhi. So it understood what is the weather now in Delhi query. It arranged it. It made the call to the relevant API, and it says the weather in Delhi now is 26 degree with partial cloudy skies. Humidity is this, and wind speed of this. Is it going to rain today in Delhi? Then it automatically knew what it has to do. It called the forecast tool. Yes, it's going to rain today in Delhi. The forecast show 100% chance of precipitation with approximately this and this. Can you compare weather of Delhi with London? So currently Delhi is significantly warmer than London. Delhi is around this. London is much cooler, while with partially cloudy conditions. London is having higher humidity. So you see now, we don't have to do any kind of logic and once you build these kinds of agents, and these are single agents I am showing, we will also see an example of multi-agent, how multiple agents can work together to do massive work. These are simple work which you can create simple agents and individually use for individual small use cases. But let's say replacing an existing team, so you can create an agent around a team and you replace the whole team. Now I will show with the, let's say, movie agent. And I will just chat with this as a normal person. I want to see a comedy movie. Can you suggest me some top ones in Bollywood? So it's now doing reasoning. It first called the API, got the data, then now it's reasoning. So it says Hera Fairy film. This is widely considered as the funniest Bollywood movie ever made. And then Andaz Apna Apna. Get me details of what Hera Fairy. So it called the API. Now the movie Hera Fairy is a classic comedy movie. These are the stars with a runtime of this. IMDb rating of 8.2. Plots three men. This and this. So it's giving me a lot of extra information than what I asked initially. So which are the movies for weekend? So now it will give me movie around the weekend, lost weekend, this and this. So you can see now with if it was a simple API and a program written around it wrapped by a developer, then I could only do that what it was supposed to pass something, cause the API, get that thing. If I want to little bit deviate my query, it won't work. It will fail. Then a developer is needed to customize it and they do other things. So compare Harry Potter with Hobbit. Now let's see if it is able to compare both movies, Hobbit and Harry Potter. Yes, it was able to do this also. While both are highly successful fantasy films, Hobbit Unexpected Journey holds slightly higher IMDb rating, whereas Harry Potter Sockers has the meta score and box office performance. The Hobbit is a longer film by 17 minutes. So it was even able to do some analysis part. Hello, are you all still with me?
Yeah, we are here.
Any questions so far? If not, then let's continue with the demos. So now we will go to the next demo, which is demo number 6, which is a research agent. It can do a lot of research around any topic that I will give. And as an agentic AI developer, you have to build these kind of agents. I've covered almost 90% of all the situations that they ask you to develop in real company also. You will be doing almost the same things only every in day-to-day life. So now what it is doing, it is already doing because I have not made this as an interactive one. So it already did analysis and research on a particular topic that it was hard coded. So let's see what was the topic given for it to do research. What are the latest developments in AI? That is what it did research. So what are the latest developments in Iran war? Let's say we ask this question to it. We can make it more interactive also, that it is interacting like a chatbot. We can convert this to that way. So now it is going to search a lot of articles and other things and then do analysis and say, as of late October, okay, it is looking for, at this moment, it is looking on old data. Maybe I have to change it to the latest one somewhere. If latest from 2026, 25, 26. Now it will go with and try to find latest articles. So it's still doing analysis. And for doing analysis, of course, it needs to connect to Google, right? To get all the articles and other things. So for that, we have a tool called DuckDuckGo Search. It's also a browser which you can use, safe browser. So the browser's library we are using. So again, it is going to the old data only first. Escalation on October this, Iran launched approximately this, and it is talking about other things. We have to see why it's not taking the latest information, but it is able to do some analysis around what we requested. Although we can also ask and tune it to pick up only the latest ones instead of the old ones. Old ones are also important, but it should also take the latest information. We can also connect it to Twitter. or Facebook or Reddit post, and those places it can get information from there also while doing analysis. All those we can also do. Now now I will show an example of multiple agents trying to work together, how they can together work and analyze data. So there's this agent which has this tool calculate arithmetic, solve quadratic equations, analyze numbers, and then generate the insights from that, and then summarize the information. And we have also compared the concepts, and then using these are multiple tools, so we can create multiple agents around it. One agent which is a math agent, it uses these tools. There's another analyze data analysis agent which uses these other two tools. And let's say I will say the sales data of a company is, so let's say you have the quarterly profit loss or the results of the organization, right, which the companies publish, which are listed on stock market, and you want to do some analysis on their data. So you can give that via the document form, and then it will read it and it can analyze. For now I'm just typing it. The monthly sales data of a company is uh, all data, all data are in lakhs of dollars. Can you analyze and tell me what are some important insights? So now it will analyze this data, and it will know which agent to use, and it will also see it delegated to analysis agent automatically, and then it basically use the tools. The monthly sales data indicates total of 162 lakhs with an average of this. The primary insight is a significant decline in the performance following the third month, shifting from peak of 60 lakhs, 7 lakhs to a low of 1 lakh. The high volatility and downward trend suggests the company needs to investigate causes behind the sharp drop in the sales during the later half of the period. So you can see it was able to take inputs and understand which agents to use out of those 4 or 5 agents, and then in each agent, what are the different tools to use. And it was able to use them and do the analysis for me. So now this was an example of multiple agent. Now I will show an example of an agent that will be able to remember things. So now I will say my name is John Doe. I am so it is I am an I am trying to learn Gen AI and want to make career in future Gen AI and agentic AI technologies. I'm looking for guidance. So now let's say I wrote this. So here it says, hello John, since you are a software engineer aiming to specialize in, my guidance would be to focus on following four pillars. Master the LLM stack, deepen your knowledge on understanding in Langchain, Llama Index, Haystacks. These are the essential agentic workflows. Understand the agentic patterns, study concepts like reasoning and acting, tool use, chain of thoughts, prompting, familiarize your frameworks with this other stacks, vector database, gain proficiency, hands-on projects uh, for this kind of thing like summarizing findings, files, organizing in reports, evaluation, learn how to evaluate LLM output frameworks like RAG systems, Ragas or Arise, sorry, these are the frameworks that help you evaluate the LLMs. This we will learn later when we will try to fine tune our own LLMs or build our own LLMs. Then time with these capabilities we will learn. Would you like to elaborate on this? So now I want to know from it what is my name. Did it remember it? Your name is John Doe, it says. What is my career aspiration? Your career aspiration is to become a Gen AI agentic AI developer. What did my uh, 10th boards exam results look like? Now it says, sorry, I don't have any information about the 10th grade board exam results because I did not talk to it about it. But other things I did talk to it, which means now we saw an example of tools. We saw different examples, right? We saw agents using tools. We saw agents is planning, taking action, choosing the right uh, agents and right tools. And now we are seeing an example of memory. Agents is storing data in memory and it's remembering what was done in the past. This is an example of that. So now if I just type memory, then it will give me all it has stored in the memory, all the conversation history. So the chat GPT, Gemini, all those that you are seeing, it's actually not an LLM. It's a chatbot that is also an agent in itself. And that chatbot also has memory. That's why it remembers you. I hope now you understand what is those chatbot things. And now if I just type reset, all this memory information will be gone. And now if I say, what is my name? It will not know. It is not able to find information. I don't know what is your name. Could you please tell me your name? Because I did a reset. Same thing happens when you click on a new chat window on chat GPT or something. You basically you new session when you start a new session. And if you are on the same session, it keeps your information, all the conversation history. So now we saw also about the agent with memory. Now I'm going to show you the last one, which is about stock market analysis. This is an agent which does stock market research. It will do technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and it will compare stocks and let us know what is its own view. So I will say Python and run this. So here it fetches live data from Yahoo Finance, the price information and other things, and it for data for news and other things it goes to internet for web search using DuckDuckGo, and it is using Gemini React agent. React agent are nothing but reasoning and acting. React. So now I will say analyze TCS stock. So now it is going and doing analysis on the TCS stock. It will check the current market price, the RSI value, Bollinger Band, EMAs, all those technical things. Then it will go and check its revenue, turnover, price, all those fundamentals. It will go and check. It's doing the analysis, and then it will tell me its outcome. So all these are its own thinking and reasoning what it is doing internally. And now as an AI, Gen AI agentic developer, you should also know how to build a front end and how to build also APIs. Because these agents will be not only just people will not be coming and using this black screen, right? They want to use it via mobile app or they want to use it via front end. They want to use integrate it in their own existing system. So it says TCS, this is the current market price, 52-week low, 52-week ranges. This is the low and this is the high price. Market cap is this much, trading near its 1 year low price. These are the fundamentals. The price to earning ratio is very less. Uh, Forward P is also very less. Return on equity is this. Net margin, dividend yield, debt to equity. TCS remains a cash rich, high margin leader in Indian IT sector, though the current valuation reflects the market concerns regarding global IT spending. And what is the technical analysis outcome? Strong downtrend, price is significantly below this EMS. RSI is also very oversold. Bollinger Band is touching the bottom, so there can be more selling in coming in. This is the first support and this is the first resistance. News wise, there is no news, major news. It says just that it is saying that market sentiment is likely driven by broad IT sector headwinds, and this is this verdict whether you should buy or not. Bull case, which means if you want to buy, the stock is technically oversold. This it's near the support, so there's high chance that it can go up for temporary. Bear case is it has been falling for a long time, so it can further fall. So can you compare stocks? Let's say, can you compare uh, let's say Reliance and HUL? So I've given it now two stocks, Reliance and Hindustan Unilever to compare, and it is doing the comparison now for me. And all this is it is doing based on the data available on internet. If I connect it to a paid API, paid system, it will get more data. I can also get the conference calls of the management that is done every quarter and take their audio, convert it into text, and then give that also as an input to this via the rack system which I showed you, the documents and other things. Then that it can use that also for doing analysis. So it says market cap wise, Reliance is this significantly larger than HUL. Valuation, Reliance trades at much lower PE compared to Hindustan Unilever, suggesting Hindustan Unilever is a quality and defensive and premium. Profitability, HUL boasts superior net margins and leverage is this. Both stocks are currently trading close to their 52 weeks low, indicating period of consolidation in the market. And this is the verdict it has given. So you can develop these kind of things also. And the whole world is now building these things. These are few sources I have connected agents to, but everything is now getting given to the agents. Company information, company database, company documents, companies news information on the internet, companies, let's say Wikipedia information, also the Twitter, Facebook information, everything, and then analysis is being done. on sentiments, on the sales. Like you want to do a competitor analysis. If you are working for, let's say, HUL might ask you, hire you as a scientist engineer slash Gen AI engineer. And they will say, these are the sales data, our sales data, and these are our competitors related information that we have, like ITC, Dabur, and this. Now do an analysis. What they are doing good and bad, what we are doing good and bad, and how we can gain more customer base or more profit in future. This will be the task given to you as a data scientist and also Gen AI engineer. Now you need to see, take all those data, to pre-process the data, clean that data, create pipelines so that data continuously flows in. Like every sales data that is happening should come into your system, and then based on that, your agents are always reading the up-to-date latest data, and then the agent needs to be tuned to do analysis and provides outcomes. Now the outcome is just in text and other things. You can connect it to Power BI dashboards to create graphs and charts and those things. So possibility is endless, and that is why it's huge what we are witnessing now as a shift. So if somebody says this is just hype, it will go away. What do you think? Is it a hype? The whole AI Gen AI thing? Can you answer? One of you?
If we follow a systematic approach to learn this, then I don't think it's a hype.
Okay. Using these things, I think you also might get some more ideas. So you should also start writing them. This is not hype. This is going to stay in the industry, and it is going to become more and more fierce. We are also seeing this kind of technology getting used in wars now, intelligence also. So it's getting used everywhere in all aspects of different fields in different industries. So far, any questions from anyone? No?
I have one question.
Yes, go ahead.
Like uh, the one from which we are getting the data from internet, that is fine, but how it is analyzing the data given from our local database, like you showed from your MariaDB database.
It's all this brain. It is taking the data, giving it to the brain. It is also taking my question and give it to the brain. And like our brain analyzes, let's say if I see this table and somebody has asked me a question, what are the products belonging to electronics? I can clearly see this. I don't have to write an SQL query for this. I already see this. So what it did is, as soon as I asked what are the products belonging to electronics table, that is became a prompt. Now it took that prompt, it went to the table and took the table's data. Prompt along with table's data went to the brain, and brain was able to see that clearly, and then extract it and give it to us, like we as human do, right? So this whole Gen AI, agentic AI is nothing but we are recreating human species again. Think it that way, then it will become very easy for you for understanding. And recreating human species in so far in the software world. So I showed you things like this, right? Now, what we could also do is we can check, we can extend this agent and say that okay, if let's say the whichever product is under, let's say, quantity in the inventory, the quantity is less, place an order to the provider for 500 new quantity. So it will use another tool, directly place an order to the provider. Order will be placed at the provider end from just with simple writing English, and the provider and also emails will be sent and confirmation will be received. So how? There are two ways. Now the provider has an API, but in future the provider will also build an own agent then our agent can talk to their agent, and then with plain English, our agent can pass the text to that agent. That agent can process it in their own database. So this is going to be the future. We will learn about that technology also. It is called MCP, MCP, Model Context Protocol. So everyone is building MCP servers and MCP clients using Model Context Protocol. And in future, there won't be any APIs. APIs will not be used for interaction between different systems, because APIs have inherent problems that it is very rigid. This is the input that you have to have, that is the output you have to have. It's in this strict format, that format, and layman people can't use it. So the world is moving towards natural language understandable systems, so that in future even robots can use this system. Robots know English, they will be able to type English, and they will be also able to work like chat assistant or let's say back office system people. Hence the world is moving towards more and more building technology that understands natural language, natural common people, English, Hindi, uh, German, that kind of language, and still do the interaction with these things. So if you say Zerodha MCP server, you must all know Zerodha, right? Zerodha is a big uh, broker in India for stocks. So they already built their MCP servers. So if I have a agent, if I have developed some agent, let's say this analysis agent I have developed, and it says me that okay, this is a good stock to buy, I can call their MCP server with plain English language. I will just say place 20 quantity order of in TCS and add the stop loss is this, and the trigger price is this. I don't have to call any API, write a program. This MCP server will be invoked and the orders will be placed on Zerodha for me in my account. Got it? Does that answer?
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Okay.
So, in upcoming future, will be no APIs, or there will be one particular agent that will have a direct connection to the API, and rest all other agents are calling that agent?
So API will not be exposed anymore. Instead, directly agents and MCP servers will be developed on top of the databases. But whatever API exists today, the companies are building MCP servers and agents on top of it, and that is where they are hiring agentic developers. Agentic what let's say you apply for a job in Zerodha today. What will you do? You will go and build these MCP servers for them. You will go and build these agents for them from on top of the existing APIs. They have APIs already developed. Now they will ask you to build MCP servers for their order API, for their execution API, for profile, for summary analysis. That is your job role. That will be your actual job role. So if you go and join any bank, insurance company also, this will be your job to build rack systems, build agents around the existing APIs, and build tools, do analysis, get data from different systems and put it into one system, and expose those tools and servers to another company, integrate another company's MCP servers or agents in your company. That is exactly going to be your job. Got it?
Yeah, got it now.
Okay. Anyone else has any question? Okay, then we'll take 2 minutes break and then we'll start with learning the things behind what we saw just now.